Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Not the Right Podcast, the podcast where we dive into whatever is catching our attention this week. And if you did not know, I'm Nick, and I'm here with the one and only Natasha. How you doing, Natasha?
I'm good, Nick. Welcome to the show, though I gotta say, today's topics got me fired up. We're talking about something that's been all over the headlines recently. Senator Tuberville finally dropping his hold on military promotions. It's been a mess for months, and now that the hold is over, there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, this whole situation is wild. For months, Tuberville was blocking hundreds of military promotions, which is kind of unprecedented. We're talking about a massive logjam at the top of the military chain of command. Now he's back down, but not before causing some serious disruption.
Exactly. And the thing is, this wasn't just a minor delay, it had real, tangible effects on our military readiness and morale. I mean, think about it. These promotions are necessary for leadership roles to be filled. When they're blocked, it creates this leadership vacuum, which is the last thing we need right now.
Right. And it's not just about filling a position or putting a new badge on someone's uniform. It's about ensuring that there's continuity in the chain of command. Leadership in the military isn't just a formality. It's critical to the way our defense operates. And when that gets disrupted, we're basically playing with national security.
Exactly. Our military is built on structure and hierarchy, so if you've got officers waiting for promotions and their positions are just hanging in the balance, it affects everything, from day-to-day operations to long-term strategy. And Nick, let's not forget, the longer this went on, the worse the ripple effect became.
Yeah, and then you've got the morale factor. How do you keep people motivated when they're waiting in limbo for something they've worked their entire careers for? It's got to feel like a slap in the face.
Totally, especially because these service members, these officers, are the backbone of our national defense. They've made sacrifices, put their lives on the line, and now they're essentially being held hostage by politics. It's demoralizing, not just for them, but for their families too.
Exactly. These aren't just promotions for the sake of a new title. These are people who are supposed to be leading our military efforts in critical areas, places like Indo-Pacific, NATO, the Middle East. We're not talking about a promotion in some quiet corner of the world. These are key leadership roles being stalled.
And let's not even get started on how this looks to our adversaries. I mean, they're watching this unfold, and what message are we sending? That our military can be held up by internal politics?
Yeah, it's like we're handing them a blueprint for our vulnerabilities. Anytime we show internal disarray, especially with something as vital as military leadership, it's like throwing up a big red flag to the rest of the world. It shows a lack of readiness, and that's something our adversaries could definitely exploit.
Exactly. You can't afford to play politics with the military, and Tuberville's hold wasn't even about the promotions themselves. It was a political stunt over a completely unrelated issue. He was basically using the military as a pawn in a political chess game. That's what really makes this whole thing dangerous.
Yeah, it's one thing to fight over policy, but when you start pulling the military into it, you're crossing a line. And here's the thing. When Tuberville finally drops the hold, sure, it might look like a win on the surface, but the damage has already been done.
Absolutely. The trust between the military and the government, that's taken a serious hit. Service members are probably thinking, if this can happen once, what's stopping it from happening again? The stability and confidence that come with leadership promotions are gone, at least for now.
Yeah, and what's even crazier is that the hold didn't just affect the top brass, it trickled all the way down. Promotions are a pipeline. When you stall the top, it clogs everything below. That means younger officers, new leaders coming up, are left waiting too. It's a domino effect that slows down the entire system.
And that means gaps in leadership, Nick. You've got key roles sitting vacant or being filled temporarily, which isn't ideal. In the military, you need decisiveness and stability, not uncertainty. Our service members can't afford to be led by people who are just holding the fort until the real leader shows up.
Yeah, it's like you're putting our national security at risk just to make a political point. And let's face it, that's not the kind of message we should be sending. What if there's a real crisis? Are we prepared to handle it when the chain of command is stuck in limbo?
And with everything going on globally, we can't afford any cracks in our military's leadership structure. We've got enough challenges as it is. This whole situation just adds unnecessary risk. Dropping the hold now doesn't erase the fact that we showed the world just how easily our internal politics can mess with military readiness.
Exactly. So now that Tuberville's dropped the hold, it's like, okay, cool, but what's next? We can't just pretend this didn't happen. Congress needs to take a hard look at how this even became possible and figure out a way to prevent it from happening again.
Absolutely. We need some serious reform because our military shouldn't be a bargaining chip in political negotiations. It's just too risky. And with that, I think we'll wrap it up here for today.
Yeah, that's a wrap for this episode of Not the Right Podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us, everyone. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and drop a comment. Let us know what you think about the whole Tuberville situation. We'll catch you next time.
Bye, everyone. Stay safe out there.